Hey y'all, I'm Emily and welcome back to Bama Based, where I find peace in my garden and joy in my kitchen. Today we're actually going to be in the greenhouse. I need to clean it up a little bit and then start some fall seeds. Don't really have a plan today. I pulled out everything that is cold tolerant, so I'm just going to set y'all down, clean up a little bit in here just so it's not such a trip hazard, and get to work. So I hope you join me. Alright y'all, I'm going to set up my seed starting trays. I purchased these from not Bootstrap Farmer, but M.I. Gardener. And I do believe they're the Bootstrap Farmer trays. Yep, but I purchased them from Luke from M.I. Gardener. I just always, if I'm purchasing a whole bunch of seeds that I truly don't need, but I just can't help myself, I always add some of these to my cart. So I'm going to get these ready, and then I want to talk about what I plan to start and then what I'm going to experiment with since I have the greenhouse this year. Come on, Trey. I have this one mosquito that is enjoying me for lunch. I seem to be an endless buffet to the mosquitoes here in Alabama. Alrighty, so I have 4 72 count trays, or 72 cell trays, and then I have several 6 cell trays here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these, but my plan is I want to start some flower seeds that I want to get ready for the spring. And then, well, let me go through my huge stack here. And this is just what I grabbed from my house. So definitely want to start some hostas. And I actually might put those in the 6 cell just to keep them different. I want to do the dwarf Shasta daisy, English daisy, dang mosquito, the creeping daisy, and the blues blue daisy in one tray. I want to direct sow garbanzo beans in some of the nursery pots that I have behind me. So I'm just set those aside. And of course, you can't go wrong without starting collards. I also want to see if I can grow onions earlier inside the greenhouse. So I want to start some Texas grano onions. I want to start some more jade bush beans in the nursery pots. Let's see. I've never grown kohlrabi, but I'm going to give it a shot. And Tom Thumb lettuce is perfect and it's delicious. Typically I'm the only one in my household that eats lettuce or any type of greens for that matter. My daughter will, if we go to a restaurant, she'll occasionally eat a salad, but I love lettuce. My husband swears he can smell it, and I just can't smell lettuce. Like, he'll say, oh, lettuce touched my cheeseburger, and then he won't eat it. Like, is anyone else like that? Or is it just, he's a weirdo? But yeah. I also want to grow some Copenhagen market cabbage. Okay. Tell me why my man won't eat lettuce, but he likes cabbage. It's a green. He's weird, y'all. Let's see, what else do I have? Ooh. There's more. Let's see, do I want to grow 2 of those? The Tom Thumb. No, I don't need 2. Oops, celery. Yep. Let's try to grow some of that. So I'm going to try Utah and Tender Crisp. Then how about some Napa cabbage? Oh, and here's some broccoli. I have never grown broccoli before. I'll probably be the only one that will eat it. But, you know, broccoli with a little bit of ranch dressing or some of that ranch dip. Oh. So I'm going to give this a shot. And what else? And some rutabagas. I'm going to grow some of those. Alright. I think that might do me for the time being. Maybe. Y'all, I love seed starting. It's like a new beginning. And you know, you start out with a seed so tiny, and then it grows into this massive plant, and it amazes me. And it's literally a miracle. Not only that it's grown to the size that it can, but that I did it, and it just brings me so much joy. So I'm gonna fill up my trays, and I'll walk you through what I plant and how many. So I'll bring you back in just a minute. Hey y'all, so I'm back. I've already filled up the trays, and it is the very next day. When I started to fill up the trays yesterday afternoon, early evening, the hubby and I realized that our son, after we had the grandbabies that morning, left the big old jug of baby formula. So we didn't want them to be hungry, so we just hopped in the car and took it to the next town over, and then just saw the grandbabies even longer, and dropped off that formula. So it is the next day, and I'm going to finish up the project, because every day that goes by is one less day that I have in the growing season. So I definitely want to get these fall plants started. So I'm going to bring you down, and let's get to planting. Whew. It is still blazing hot in the greenhouse. I have the vents open and the door open, and the thermometer is still showing, oh goodness, about 106. So I'm already glistening. So I want to make this a quick planting, and then get these on the shelf near the door so it gets that ventilation. I do have a fan running that's pulling the hot air out. That's below the shelf that you're currently sitting on. So hopefully that will allow it to not be as hot. Also need to reach over here and get some plant labels. And I have absolutely had enough with my labeling not make it through a growing season. So when Emma Gardner ran a sale, I just went ahead and picked up an outdoor garden marker for outdoor use and not just a regular Sharpie. So I'm going to give that a shot. So get those ready to go. Clean up my space a little bit, because I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to some things, and other things I can just let it go. That's the the good thing, and then also the troubling thing when it comes to having ADD. Like, some things you can ignore until it's an absolute chaotic mess, and then other things I'm OCD. And I have to have everything like organized. So I definitely want to start daisies because, like I mentioned in another video, I want the front landscaping and the side landscaping, and shoot, even in the backyard, I want to just be staring at daisies of all varieties all spring and summer long. And most of these daisies are perennials. There are some annuals, but I definitely want the perennials to get started. Whew. And yeah, because it's my favorite flower. So to start off, I want to plant the dwarf Shasta daisy, and it says to surface sow in spring after frost, or start indoors in a flat. Keep the soil slightly moist at room temperature. Transplant or thin seedlings when they reach several inches in height. Harden off. So I'm going to give these a shot. I know it's not the spring, but since I'm going to keep these in the greenhouse and try to continue to let them grow out for spring planting, I think they'll be okay. So, and these seeds are from Southern Seeds. I think they changed their name. I forgot what they called them, what they're called now. Oh, yep, here it is. So they used to be called Southern Seeds, but now they're called Seed Therapy. On the website, it just said that they were trying to be like market to the entire U.S. and not just the southern states. All right, so that's one whole packet of dwarf Shasta daisy. It says to surface sow. And I will probably put a few in each cell. I'll do 3 rows out of this one packet. And this company gives you a lot of seeds. I was very surprised, especially since their prices were shockingly low. I recently purchased all these seeds when they were running their half off sale, and I just stocked up because I'm a sucker for a seed sale. Give this girl diamond jewelry and a packet of seeds, and I'm one happy camper. Alright, so before I forget, because I will, let's write plant tag on it. So dwarf Shasta daisy. And let's do the creeping daisy. And this seed packet states, oh y'all, I'm gonna have to get a fan. Direct sow past last frost, lightly press seeds onto soil surface, keep moderately moist. Pretty much the same thing. So surface sow here. Ooh, super tiny seeds. Okay. And I bought several packets of each of these varieties, just in case if I don't have success now, I can start again in the spring. Alrighty, so that gave me 2 rows. And that's the creeping daisy. Well, my handwriting is atrocious today. Alrighty, so then we have the Blues Blue Daisy. And let's read the packet. Pretty much says the same thing. Alright. Alright, so that gave me 3 rows of the Blues Blue Daisy. Alrighty. Put those packets over there so I can throw them in the trash. Now we have English Daisy. And this variety I purchased from Lowe's already, from, you know, little pints of, you know, I've already started daisies from Lowe's, and they just didn't make the heat. And well, honestly, the lack of water. When we came back from the beach, you know, half the front landscaping bed was just gone, and we realized that the irrigation wasn't working like it should. So I'm going to see if I can save us some money and start these from seed instead of purchasing them again from a box store. Super tiny seeds. Okay, that gave me 2 rows. Of the English Daisy. Whew. It's getting hotter by the minute. It's now almost 110 in here. Oh goodness, y'all. Alright, now I want to start some celery. So in these last 2 rows, I want to do celery, and let's start off with the tender crisp celery. And let's see if I can actually be successful. In the spring, I believe I grew the Utah, and you know, I got a harvest. They were kind of thin and spindly. But I just chopped them up and put them in vacuum sealer bags. But I haven't really tasted it yet, so for all I know, it could be an epic failure. Okay, I still have more of the tender crisp celery seeds. So I'll put it back in the seed packet. Nope, I'll tell you what, because I'll just make a mess. I'll put it in one of these 16. Yeah, I have a 6-cell tray here, and I'll just finish it off in this little one. Alright, so this is tender crisp celery. Oh, I am sweating. So I'm going to set this tray aside. And then start with this tray. Oh, sweating, y'all. I hate it. All right, so put that aside. We did this one. All right, so let's do some Napa cabbage. I've never grown Napa cabbage, but cabbage is one of the very few vegetables that my husband will actually eat. So let's see if I can get these to germinate and give us a harvest. And I'm just going to use the entirety of the entire seed packet here, just because I don't know with the heat, and I always have self-doubt when it comes to seed starting. But you know, seeds want to grow. And every spring I always start, you know, like I am now, the entire seed packet. And then I never have the heart to throw my extra seedlings in the compost, so then I'm drowning in little seedling plants. And then I'll swear to myself that I'll never plant as many seeds, and then I always do, because it's a tiny miracle that something so tiny will actually give you food. But yeah, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I plant in that row? Yes. So 5 rows of Napa cabbage. Okay. Now let's do some good old Georgia Southern greens, collards. And these came from Botanical Interest. And y'all, this company also gives you a ton of seeds. Like, I cannot use all these seeds. I purchased these, oh goodness, in this spring. Is there a date on this? Okay, I lied. I purchased these in 2023. And I still have seeds. So since they are older, I'm going to plant even more, because the older the seeds are, typically you might see less germination, but seeds want to grow. And I am the only one in my family that will eat collards. So I will only do 2 rows of Georgia collards. I'll take that back. I still have plenty of seeds in this hand. Let's do 3. So 3 rows of good old Georgia Southern collard greens. And there's still probably a teaspoon left of seeds in this packet. They give you so many. So 3 rows going in there. Dripping in sweat. Nice. I already did Napa cabbage. Alright, so let's do some broccoli. This is the Calabrese, I believe I'm saying that correctly. Calabrese broccoli from Seed Therapy. And I have never grown broccoli. Again, I'm the only one in my family, like immediate household, that will eat broccoli. But maybe if I'm successful and can harvest some, I can vacuum seal it and then take it to my parents' house or my sister. And they live in Georgia and I live in Alabama, so maybe I can grow this and share with them. So here I will be using the entire packet from Seed Therapy, and they too give you a lot of seeds. And since I've never grown broccoli before, I'm gonna put seeds in 4 rows just to increase my chances. Alrighty, so calibrate. Alright, y'all, the GoPro overheated, so I had to run inside and get my phone. Decided to cool off a little bit since I am already dripping in sweat, and get a good old glass of sweet tea. Whew. And I'm already hot again. So we're back at it. So I finished with the broccoli and labeled that tray. So that tray's finished. And let's see what else I can grow. I just have a big stack of seeds beside me. Oh, okay. So since cabbage is one of the very few vegetables my husband will consume, let's see if we can grow the Copenhagen market cabbage. And this is from M.I. Gardner, Heirloom Seeds. Still a ton of seeds in this packet as well. And I purchased this packet in 2024. So let's put a few in each cell. And even if every single one of these seeds germinates, I'll separate and give each one their own individual pot, because these plants are brassica and they can take a light frost. So I'm gonna get them started in the greenhouse and then we'll go from there. So that is 3 rows of the Copenhagen market cabbage with plenty of seeds left in this packet from M.I. Gardner. Now I'm just going to label it. And y'all, label your stuff, because I always say to myself, oh, I'll know what it is. No, you won't. And I never do. Like, I have 3 pots beside me that I know are carrots, but are they the Black Nebula carrots? Are the Emperor carrots? Are they the Danvers carrots? I don't remember. So it's going to be like a surprise. So this is the Copenhagen. Yeah. No.
Let me ask you a little question.
What?
You got your camera in there on the counter, but it ain't charging.
So it overheated.
Y'all here?
Yeah. Say hi.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. All right, y'all, the hubby didn't want to be on camera. So I'm back. Still dripping in sweat. Let's try to grow the white Vienna kohlrabi. I've never grown kohlrabi before. Don't even know what it tastes like. But everyone I watch on YouTube seems to grow it. So let's give it a shot. And these are also from Seed Therapy. Tons of seeds. That's what I like to see. I'll just do 2 rows. I'm going to just do 3 since I have so many in my hand. All right, get those labeled. And I still have plenty of seeds left over. Let me make sure I can spell this correctly. All right, so there's the white Vienna kohlrabi. Let's see. I'm gonna grow those. What else? What else? Let's do the Tom Thumb Dwarf Bib Lettuce. And these are from M.I. Gardner. This is my favorite variety of lettuce. So let's see, I'm just going to sprinkle it into each cell. And I will do 4 rows. Oops, a lot in there. This is the Tom Thumb. Oh. All right, so let's do the rutabaga, the purple top. And I love rutabagas. Occasionally my daughter will eat them, but they are one of my favorites and a good potato substitute. Now you'll have content creators tell you that they taste like potatoes. They don't taste like potatoes, but it's a good second. Like, to me, they are a little bit more sweet at times, or can be a little bit more tart. But my favorite way to eat rutabagas is to peel them and then chop them into like small little cubes and then put them in my large cast iron skillet. Sprinkle it with some good olive oil and put some either fresh herbs or even dried herbs over them, and then some butter, and just roast in your oven. So then it's like a roasted potato, and they are very, very good. I've never mashed them, which is how some people claim that they are like potato substitutes. I just prefer them to be roasted, especially since I'm the only one that will eat it willingly. But they're good, y'all. I think y'all should try them. So these are the purple top. I will also direct sow these once the peppers are done in the in-ground bed over here. And I have already direct sown them into the metal raised bed behind the greenhouse. I just have a row of lettuce, and then I put garbanzo beans in the middle, and then the rutabagas on the other side. So now that this one is finished, I'm going to set it aside. And we have one more tray. And then we'll get everything watered in. And since it is so hot out here, I will put these trays in another tray and keep water in that bottom tray, so bottom water. Okay. So let's do the other rutabaga variety, Laurentian. Hope I'm saying that one correctly. Good amount of seeds. And I'll do 2 rows of this variety. Get this labeled because I will not remember. All right, so what else? What else? Let's go ahead and see if we can start some lemon balm. Gotta get the drips of sweat. Y'all, growing in this southern climate, it's no joke. Okay, not a lot of seeds in this packet. So fingers crossed for good germination. That gave me 2 rows. And that is lemon balm. Ooh, ooh, flying bug. Goodness. So sweaty. So let's go in with our, did we do Utah celery already? No, we did tender crisp. So let's do the Utah celery. This is the same packet that I started in the spring. Still have plenty of seeds. So thank you, M.I. Gardner. And since I know there is no way I can get these seeds back in the packet, we'll do 3 rows. And that is the Utah tall celery. Alrighty, we still have 5 more rows. So let's see what else we can plant. I think I've decided to plant more of the daisies, but those seeds are in the house and I don't feel like getting them. So let's reach for our Texas grano onion from Seed Therapy. Is my mic still on? Yeah. So I want to give these a shot. My onions did okay. They were pretty small, and I think I just didn't start them at the right time. And now I'm curious to see if I'm able to not only start them, but keep them through the cold winter in the greenhouse. So then I don't have to buy, sets from, say, a box store. So this is an experiment for me. And regardless if it's a fail, I only wasted like $1.20 on this seed packet. And I will just go ahead and finish up. Let's see how far this will get me before I say. Yep. This will finish up the last 5 rows in this tray. The fly has made it into the greenhouse. And it's now 112 in here. Oh. So this is the Texas grano onion. I'm going to set this back here. I'm going to grab one of the 6-cell trays, also from Bootstrap Farmer. And I want to plant or attempt to germinate some hostas. Like I've mentioned before in other videos, not only do I want to plant a whole bunch of hostas on this side of our house, but since my parents have a huge shade garden in their backyard, I want to grow some pretty things for them. Well, those are totally interesting. Let me show y'all. Not what I was expecting a hosta seed to look like. And this is a blue hosta variety from Southern Seeds. But can y'all see those? Those are interesting. What do they say to do? It says hostas are easy to grow and thrive in partial shade to full shade. The seeds can take 30 to 60 days to germinate. They prefer moist, well-drained soil, but can also tolerate some drought. Plant them in groups of 3 or more for a more impactful display, 24 inches apart on the soil surface, and lightly dust with soil. Okay. So then let's do, let's see how far these will take me. I would have never guessed these are seeds. They kind of look like, I don't know, black, red, just, I don't even know. I would have never guessed that these were seeds. Yeah, they look like just black petals of some sort. Interesting. So let's see. Lightly dust with soil. So I'm going to push them down. All right, so those are covered. And those are the blue hosta. Totally have never grown these before. It's an experiment, so we'll see. Need more plant labels. And this is the blue hosta. Alrighty. So it looks like everything is now planted in the trays. I'm just going to go in, lightly press everything into each cell. Y'all see that I think I have a mouse or something? It already ate the top of this squash or zucchini off. I'm not happy at all. So it looks like this one's okay. I'm not sure how long it's going to last before it becomes a meal for another critter. So fingers crossed on that little guy. Let's go ahead and fill up these pots here. All right, so I am a huge fan of hummus. So I want to plant most of these large pots in here with garbanzo beans. And then I also want to plant some squash and zucchini just to see if I can get them to grow, because squash bugs in my area, squash vine borers, like they're a huge pest in the spring. So let's see if I can do it right now. So these garbanzo beans are from Seed Therapy as well. And they're just like little chickpeas. And I'm going to plant 5 in each of these pots. And just hope that whatever critter is in here doesn't think that the garbanzo beans are a endless buffet. Hey, Harley. Oh, that's perfect. 5 in each pot. And then in this pot here, let's go ahead and plant what should we plant? Let's do some dark green zucchini. And this is just a seed packet that I purchased from the Dollar Tree back in 2022. So there's 4 left in this packet. Let's see if anything will grow. And now I need to label these because I won't remember. And I'm going to label the few pots that y'all are sitting in as carrots, even though I have no clue if they are the Black Nebula or the Emperor or the Danvers. I'm just going to write carrots, because that's all I can remember as of right now. Alrighty, so I do have some pots outside the greenhouse that are filled with soil ready to be planted. So let's go with the let's finish off the white bush scallop squash. These were purchased in 2021, so they definitely need to be used. Same with this seed packet, purchased in 22. Mosquitoes are biting. And then let's do some Black Beauty. So let's go outside and plant those. All right, so we are outside the greenhouse now, obviously. And I want to show you what is already germinating in this week alone. So in this first pot, again, I thought I would remember, and I sure don't. So these are either zucchinis or yellow crickneck squash. But I do see some good germination already. Same in this pot. These could even be garbanzo beans, y'all. See, I don't remember. Nothing in here yet. One here. One there. And then these are the pots I would like to fill today. Alrighty, y'all, so we're back using the GoPro camera because the phone overheated in this climate over here in North Alabama. So before I lose another camera to the heat, let's get these pots planted. Again, these seeds are from 2022. So I'll probably finish up this packet. There's a lot in here. Oh, just dropped one into the gravel. So I'll plant 5 just to see if they'll do anything. They're pretty old, so. I put one in each of the, well, I'll put several in each hole just because of the uncertainty of the germination. And I'm gonna have to sit down because this is killing my knee. I've ripped my meniscus, and when I put pressure on it, it burns like the dickens. So that's what happens when you turn 40, you start falling apart. So let's go with the black zucchini here. So y'all help me remember, these 2 pots are early white bush scallop squash. This pot needs full. It needs filled with soil. So let's do these 2 pots with Black Beauty zucchini from Seed Therapy, formerly known as Southern Seeds. I'm going to put that seed packet there so I don't forget. And I'm going to go fill up more pots. Hey y'all, so I'm going to wrap up my afternoon, not only because it's hot, but also because I think my Jack Russell is sick and I want to pay close attention to him. My husband came into the backyard not that long ago and asked why I spilled dog food in the backyard, and I was adamant, saying I didn't. Well, once I finished my chores in the greenhouse and stepped outside, I realized that he's vomiting everywhere. And there's several piles. I am glancing over and he is using the bathroom, so that makes me feel a little bit better. I did notice some snail slime in his bowl, so I'm hoping that made his stomach upset, but I'm not really sure, so I'll just say a little prayer for my Harley Davidson. He seems happy, but he's not energetic like, well, where are you, baby? I mean, he's normally around in the backyard just having the zoomies, and he's just kind of chilling today. So I'm not sure what's going on with my baby. So I'm going to just wrap up this afternoon by harvesting what peppers I can, and I'll see y'all in a little bit. Hey y'all, so I'm finally in the house. GoPro overheated again, phone overheated again. So I said to myself, I better come inside too before I overheat. So I finished up the harvest. I'm going to keep an eye on Harley Davidson, and just wanted to show you what I was able to finish harvesting in the garden today. So we have a full basket of bell peppers, jalapenos, habaneros, cubanelles, um, different varieties of bell peppers. Isn't that cute? So I got a whole basket that I will slice up and put in the vacuum sealer bags today. I'm currently chopping up yesterday's harvest. Right now, these are all bell peppers that I'll use in the winter for like fajitas and cheesesteaks and things like that. Here's some banana peppers, and then my massive scrap bowl. So I have a project for myself this afternoon. But thank y'all for joining me today as I just started my fall garden, all those seeds, and just piddled around in the backyard. I hope that y'all will join me again next time. And again, this is Emily from Bama Based, and where I find peace in my garden and joy in my kitchen. If y'all could hit that like button and subscribe, help me grow the channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.